All right, let's begin this bulletin with a story that's become an international thriller. The story of disappearance and alleged murder of a Saudi Arabian journalist, Jamal Khashoggi. Now, this story is witnessing one twist after the other. In the latest development, Saudi Arabia's consul general to Istanbul, Mohammed Al-Otaibi, has left for Riyadh. He's gone back to Saudi Arabia, and as Turkey prepared to search his residence. A quick background. Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi disappeared in Istanbul on 2nd of October. Turkey claims that he's been killed by Saudi Arabian agents in the Saudi consulate, while Saudi Arabia has denied these allegations. And in the latest twist, the Saudi consul general has left Turkey and gone to Saudi Arabia. Remember, this case has become an international thriller, one mystery after the other, one twist after the other. And the latest, earlier in the day, we saw the president of Turkey say that there was a patch in the consul in Istanbul, in the Saudi consul in Istanbul, that was painted over. He was trying to signal that there has been a kind of a foul play inside the premises of that consul. And just when the Turkish authorities were all set to search the residence of the Saudi consul general, he's left the country and he's gone to Saudi Arabia. Amid this, there were reports that finally, amidst the growing international pressure, Saudi Arabia was going to admit that Jamal Khashoggi has been killed. However, these are just speculations. There has been no conclusive proof or evidence if Jamal Khashoggi is alive or not. Turkish media sources say that he's been killed in cold blood. His body was dismembered by a Saudi hit squad. However, there are no reports of any confirmation, no official statement. Saudi Arabia has so far denied all these allegations. It even opened its consul for access for investigators to probe the case. But so far, the latest development suggests that the Saudi consul general has left Turkey for Saudi Arabia. All right, for more on this, I'm joined by Parvez Alam. He's the director of Cine Inc. and formerly he was associated with the BBC World and BBC World Service. He's joining us from London. Thank you so much, Mr. Alam, for speaking to World is One. What do you have to say about the latest development? The Saudi Consul General has left for Riyadh. He's left Turkey. Do you think it's related to Turkish President's statement that came earlier in the day that a patch in the Saudi consulate was painted over, and as the authorities were all set to search his residence, do you think there are dots that can be connected here, or is it too early to judge?
I think I'm sure that there's a dot between these two reports. That earlier it was reported that a black van was seen coming from the consulate and going to the consul's residence, official residence in Istanbul. And then at 2 p.m., the consul left for Saudi Arabia. And nothing has been confirmed so far, but the reports coming from Istanbul suggest that there's a connection there. And earlier, again, it has not been confirmed. There were reports that the dismembered body of the journalist was taken from the consul's office and then it was taken to consul's residence. It's very confusing. Nothing has been confirmed. However, there's one thing which has already been confirmed, and that is that this is the serious most crisis that has happened as far as the Middle East is concerned during the last 10 years. And this has got repercussions on everything. On everything means that the Saudi officials are finding it very difficult to convince the world that they have changed. Number two, the rest of the world, including, I'm talking about the big powers and the big bankers and the investors, they are distancing themselves from the Saudi Arabia. And there was a big event going to take place next week, and most of them, the big players, have withdrawn themselves, saying that they are not at this stage ready to deal with Saudi Arabia and to invest in Saudi Arabia. So this is a serious crisis for Saudi Arabia and also a very serious crisis for Turkey and Saudi Arabia.
Right. Mr. Alam, for the benefit of our viewers, could you throw some light on Jamal Khashoggi's past vis-a-vis Osama bin Laden and the Muslim Brotherhood? A report says that he had some uncomfortable secrets related to the 9/11 attacks. Do you think it's his past? Because people say that it was his interview with Osama bin Laden that launched his journalism career, and then he was a friend to Laden before he embraced terror. Could you please shine some light on that?
Adnan Khashoggi, as we say Khashoggi, there's no as such ga in Arabic, but then Adnan Khashoggi was known as Adnan Khashoggi in India and the South Asia region. And Jamal Khashoggi is related to Adnan Khashoggi, the famous or notorious arms dealer. And during that time, it was believed after that Jamal Khashoggi had also very strong links with the royalty. And he also interviewed Osama bin Laden on a number of occasions. This is absolutely true because the report and the interview and these things were published in the media. Number three, Jamal Khashoggi was very close to Prince Naif, who was supposed to be the crown prince and who was supposed to take over, and then all of a sudden he was shunned, and then we saw King Salman taking over and his son, Crown Mohammed bin Salman, now in a position to take over the royalty in Saudi Arabia. Jamal Khashoggi undoubtedly knows so much about Saudi Arabia and how the system functions. And he was also close to the intelligence in Saudi Arabia. This is true and has been confirmed earlier as well in various reports that Jamal Khashoggi was very unhappy with the current regime, particularly Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and he was reporting on some of these things. He was a columnist with the Washington Post, and he was also someone who was seen close to the American administration, or let's put it this way, the American establishment. And these were the things which were making Crown Prince unhappy and uncomfortable. And there are reports, and which have again appeared in credible media, that there was a tussle between these two, and Crown Prince was not happy with the Jamal Khashoggi. And now that we know that Jamal Khashoggi all of a sudden has disappeared from the scene, and there are indications that perhaps Crown Prince was involved in his disappearance.
Right, interesting perspective there. Thank you so much, Mr. Alam, for speaking to Wion World is One and giving us your views on this big story. It's become an international thriller. 3 countries are involved in it. The entire world is on tenterhooks. One twist unraveling after the other. We'll keep a close track on these developments that are unfolding in Istanbul and Saudi Arabia.